Hi guys, thanks for tuning in again. The reason why I wanted to make this particular segment is I know a lot of y'all have a hard time losing weight. I'm here to tell you that 99.9, almost 100% of it is not because you're not working out. It's not because you're not trying. It's because you're eating the wrong foods. And if you could address that before even touching a barbell or dumbbell or whatever it is that you're going to do to exercise or go running, I think if you really focus on what you're eating, you can expedite that exponentially. It's the root of the problem. It's the root of the cause of the problem. This is the reason why we have an epidemic of obesity in this country. And if you can address that issue first, I guarantee you, without even lifting a barbell or dumbbell, you're going to lose an extraordinary amount of weight. But you don't necessarily need to go work out to be able to lose weight. You first need to address the root of the problem. And I'll go ahead and show you what I'm going to end up cooking up today. And I'll tell you a story about why, as I'm cooking, why I ended up why I ended up to look up the research as to why it is I needed to lose weight. Um, yeah, so to start off, I ended up going to work out about five times a week when I was 25 years old. I'm currently 38 years old. And I noticed that I couldn't lose the weight. Actually, I gained weight. And what I was doing was after every workout, I would drive my way to Pollo Loco or In-N-Out Burger. I mean, who doesn't love the In-N-Out Burger? And I'd eat a portion of food. And the workouts that I had were good. It was about 2 hour workouts. And right after my workouts, head out to In-N-Out, head out to Pollo Loco, get a big piece of meat, get a big piece of burger with fries, large Coke, whatever it was at that time. And then presumably at night, when I get hungry, I'd eat a bunch of cookies, Oreo cookies, or I'd eat a bunch of, I don't know, you name it, any snacks that I could find, candy. And my snack drawer were filled with snacks. They still are to this day. I'm not gonna lie, but I minimize it. I try to buy every once in a while, not like it was before. Trust me. But anyways, so then one particular day, I ended up. I didn't realize I was getting fat. It kind of sneaks up on you. Believe it or not, I still had the sex. I still had the confidence to go and approach girls. I still had the swag to be able to to think that I was looking bomb. Like I really thought I looked great, even though I was working out and getting fat. I still didn't think I was fat. I was like in denial or something. And then one day I decided to get on a scale or something, and I looked and I was like, nah, that can't be right, right? Like I seriously was in denial. I did not want to accept the fact that I was getting fat. So, anyways, I get in the car and I go ahead and reach for my belt, right? And this is a true story, no lie. And I had just eaten, so that didn't help, and I was bloated. And I remember just going like, I couldn't actually click it. Like I couldn't actually click the the seatbelt, and I was shocked. I was like, what the hell? What the hell is happening? So I made like one more suck, and I clicked it right. And honestly, that's when I realized like I got to fix this issue. Like obviously I'm working out. Obviously I go for runs. Obviously I'm doing everything I can, but I'm not losing weight anymore. My metabolism is slowed down. I'm not trying to get this fat. I'm not trying to work out every single day to see no results. So I went ahead and I bought a handbook. It was like a certain book about how to cook, how to meal prep, how to. This was before. This was when I was 25, 26. This was before the internet really took off on these things, on these topics like it is now. Now you can search up the internet. You can find anything on the internet about losing weight. Like right now. But in any event, I did some research. I started experimenting. I did turkey, I did salmon, I did steak, and lo and behold, I lost from 2000. Was it 25? So I was what 20? Wow, such a long time ago. I'm 38 now. 10 years ago. What are we in 2023? 2013. So about between 2010, yeah, between 2010 and 2011, I think it was when the Lakers won the championship, and I was excited about it because I was able to put on the jersey Kobe that fit nice. I lost about 100 and 110 pounds or something. It was a lot. I was up to 258. No, I didn't lose 110 pounds. I was up to 258 and I dropped down to 185. That's horrible math. What is that? Someone of y'all that can help me. 80 pounds or something. And anyways, I ended up losing the weight. I felt great. I felt rejuvenated. I felt like I did something extraordinary. And I've been carrying out that same method ever since then. I've been trying to cook. I prep my meals. A lot of the times, I buy salmon at Costco. There's a big packet that they have. I cut it in slices and I put it in the freezer. The rest of it, I individually put it in there. That goes the same for the steak that they have at Costco. I go ahead and cut it up, put it in the freezer, and I thaw it out once I take it out. Also, I love mushrooms. Put mushrooms in everything in my food. You might not like mushrooms. You might not like zucchinis, right? I use zucchinis a lot. You might not like tomato. You might not like vegetables. You might not like healthy food. And I'm here to tell you, um, at first it's going to be very difficult for you to actually get used to eating the food. It's very hard because your body is so accustomed to eating like crap, whether it be McDonald's, whether it be the burger, whether it be fries, whether it be fried food, whether it be chicken from the outside, whatever you name it, chips especially. Oh, there's one thing I could tell you: get rid of chips. Period. Chips are like, I eat chips, and the reason I don't buy them is because I have no self control, and they make it on purpose. Like, if you could take a look at what they add for chips on the ingredients, and I hope this really sticks to you and recognize this, they add a ton of sugar. And they add a ton of sugar on purpose because, again, like you saw, like I mentioned in the last video, this word dopamine never really existed until recently, right? They spike up your dopamine. That's what salt does. I'm sorry. Did I say sugar? Salt on chips. It spikes up your dopamine and it gets you really high and really happy as you're eating the chip. So, in other words, they do that on purpose so you continually buy the chip and eat it. When you get so mad, and that's what you have to do, really. You have to get so mad at these industries that create these products for you, right? Because they're making it so you come back to buying the same product, but they're making it so addictive that it makes it hard for you to quit. So if you understand that, right, once you realize that and you do your own research, you're gonna go, okay, so this is a game. Okay, so if I'm playing the game, are you gonna go down? Let's say, for example, right? If you're playing this game and you know that game is a dead end, but you keep going to that dead end because you're still curious to see what it is, right? If you're, let's say, Mario Brothers, are you going to continue going in that dead end, or are you going to find another path? And that's the game. You got to look at life like that. It's a game. So try another avenue, because this avenue obviously has corroded your mind and thinking that chips are good and they're delicious, but I'm also getting fat. I also don't feel good about myself, and I end up eating more bad stuff along the way, right? So if you're trying to lose the weight, also, if you drink alcohol, if you go out with your friends and you think you can lose weight while simultaneously doing that, there are some people that can handle that, which is an anomaly. But for the majority of us, 99.9% of us, it's better just to get rid of all that stuff. Okay. But anyways, I'll go ahead and just try and cook some of this stuff up and dice it up. And before I forget, the reason I mentioned about you might not like these vegetables, it's true. You're not going to like them. Your body's so accustomed to the other food. Am I eventually going to like them? Yeah, it just happens to be that way. Your body goes through a process of memorizing what it's used to eating. It's so smart. I think Joe Rogan had it in his podcast one day that your stomach is the brain size of a cat. And cats are pretty freaking smart, right? Like, I think he even said that. So if you recognize that and it's able to memorize the type of food you're feeding it, how long do you think before it can memorize the new alignment of food that you're creating to where it's actually missing to eat that as opposed to the junk food, or it's actually wanting to eat this as opposed to the junk food? It probably takes, maybe, if you want to be realistic, like if you want to extend it to the most, probably 3 to 6 months. 6 months, the least likely. 3 months, most likely. Like you'll be able to get accustomed to the new meal, especially if you're working out along the way, right? Because if you get the food right, if you're able to eat the right foods, When you're done performing a workout, what's the first thing you want to do? It's eat, right? Or a shake, or you want to put calories in because you just burned off a bunch of calories. But what happens when you're not putting in the correct calories? What happens when you're putting in a bunch of junk? It's the same process all over again, and the whole workout went to because you didn't go ahead and protect yourself. I call it protecting yourself because what you're doing essentially is you're protecting your future version of yourself. So if that future version of itself is going through a crossroads, you want to designate the right roads in order for that person to achieve success, right? So you're not going to go ahead and leave that person without a parachute, right? Because without a parachute, that person is going to go face flat on the ground and eat the same food over again and hate himself for that, or she. You're just going to hate yourself for it, and it's a repetitive cycle. So what you do by prepping meals and eating the right foods is you allow that person to feel good after. You're giving that person options, no, not various options, but one option to eat this type of food. And what's going to happen when that person gets really hungry after workout and eat that food? They're going to feel good because they're going to say to themselves, I protected myself, I ate well, and then it creates other parts of that day to do other good things for yourself. It's like the food, how you eat in this planet is so important, so vital to me that you have to take care of that more than anything. We've seen what they serve in the outside world. We've seen what they serve at McDonald's. We've seen what they serve at Taco Bell. We've seen what they serve everywhere, even in fancy restaurants. It's over. If you order a plate of food, they're gonna put a bunch of crap in it, right? Stuff you don't even need. Mashed potatoes, a bunch of extra sauces, right? Like you're thinking you're eating a nice healthy salad. Meanwhile, the calories on the sugar intake and the salt intake, but the chips that they leave out, the bread that they put out. We all even know that the bread that they feed us is also addictive, and they add a bunch of preservatives to keep us from getting fat. Here's the kicker. If you wanna live a better full life, you're gonna have to learn how to cook. There's no easy ifs and buts about it. Everyone, if you want to be your best version of yourself, you're going to have to start educating yourself of how to eat. It's the same way of how to be successful or how to make money. No one's just going to give you money and say, here's a bunch of money because you're just living. Or here's the best food in the world, like salmon and steak, because you're just living. You're going to have to roll up your sleeves and you're going to have to learn these things. You're going to have to learn how to invest. You're going to have to learn how to put money in avenues to make you more income, whether it's from investing or whether it's from, I don't know, let's just say whatever people do to earn money. You get what I'm saying. It goes the same way with the food. You're going to have to learn how to cook in order to be successful at what it is to be healthy. Like eating right is just going to be the best thing for yourself and for your future self. Because think about this, if you eat the crap that you're eating now, what's to say by 60 years old, and we all know that anyone who works in healthcare, what's going to happen with your diabetes? What's going to happen if you get a stroke? What's going to happen to a bunch of things, right? But if you decide to make a change and fix what's in the kitchen, then it's going to help you live longer. It's going to help you feel better. It's going to help in a lot of ways in your life. And I'm not just saying that. You ask any expert. But I'm here to tell you that you can't keep telling yourself you're fat. You can't keep telling yourself you're a loser. You can't keep telling yourself these things that aren't true. They're true for the moment because that's how you feel. But they're not actual facts that they're permanent, right? Like you're not going to be permanently fat unless you decide to, right? A lot of times we tell ourselves these things. I'm a liar. I'm a cheat. I'm an ugly person. I'm fat. But the reality is those are just temporary setbacks of yourself. They're not the full version of yourself. This is why it's called growth. This is why life is called change. This is why we're able to extend our lives to our full potential. This is why we love the comeback story of every movie that you can think of, whether it's Rocky or you name it, Gladiator or whatever. They're just setbacks. Somebody killed your family. You feel sad. Are you going to let that define you? Or a family member, I'm sorry, somebody in your family was somebody killed. Somebody in your family died and your dad died. And you're going to be sad? Are you going to be sad forever? No. You're going to pick up yourself after a while, after you grieve, after you go through the suffering, and you're going to become the best version of yourself. Why? Because your dad would have wanted that for you. Because you should want that for yourself, okay? So I don't want to hear like, I'm fat, you don't have no idea. You're not, all right? You're fat at that moment, but you can change. And I know you can because I do it. And I'm telling you as an example, look at me. I'm not like the strongest. I'm not the smartest. Obviously, look, half the stuff in this damn video I've said incorrectly. Number one, I'm nervous. Number two, I'm trying to help you guys. I'm trying to help you guys understand that the things that you think might define you aren't necessarily true. I want you to understand this about life, that there are gradual steps to change. There are gradual steps to improvement. It's not going to happen overnight the way we think it is with the clickbait and everything else. These are things that are processed daily. These are things you practice every single day of every moment, right? If you think things don't matter, like, oh, I could eat this today, I could hang out with my friends today, I could cheat on this today, I could lie to this person today, and I mean this sincerely, or I could not take the dog out for a walk, or I could not do this, I could lay back today. I'm here to tell you that everything matters. Everything you decide to do from this moment on after watching this, every single thing matters, because there are building blocks in this world, and they don't start off by like ignoring the little things, ignoring the fact that your room's a mess and you don't care, or you don't want to go to work today because you want to call day off and hang out with your friends. Now listen, you can do that sort of thing every once in a while, but we don't do that every once in a while. We do that more often than not as people. And I'm not talking about just Americans. I'm talking about all the rest of the world. We're lazy. We're lazy, most of us. We don't want to do the extra thing for other people. We don't want to send the extra email. We don't want to make the extra call. We don't want to do the extra rep. We don't want to do anything. We just want to take it easy and hope things come our way. It's just not going to happen that way. And the older you get, you realize that, because the things I didn't do before are costing me now, like creating videos, getting the career I wanted, and instead it's settling at these jobs that I really disliked. And it took me suffering to get out of them. It took me a headache to be like, I got to shake this off. I got to get the hell out of here. So I'm here to tell you that it starts off with the kitchen. I'm not going to make this video too long because I don't want to. I'll probably make a second part later on. I don't even know if people will end up watching this. To be quite honest, I hope this value comes up to somebody. But the truth is, it starts off with the kitchen, and it starts off with minor things, right? Zucchini is one of my favorite vegetables. If you can find a favorite, let me leave with this. If you can find a favorite vegetable that you already like, let's say lettuce, let's say tomato, use that. Use that to start off a meal with. I don't like steak, Jay, or I don't like carne asada. I don't like. You have to like something, right? Because you're eating something, right? So buy a pack of chicken. Look up a video of a guy cooking up and putting seasoning on the chicken, healthy wise. Even if it's not healthy, who gives a shit? Honestly, try whatever, right? Try chicken, steak. Try it for the first time. If it doesn't come out as good as you think it is, that's okay too. I want you to know, like, you're gonna make mistakes along this process. And I'm sorry to be yelling. Sorry, I got a little excited because there's so much to say, and I think I have to learn how to break these videos down so I don't get persuaded back and forth or just getting off topic. I want you to know. I want you to try something, a vegetable, cook a little something, find one recipe for a chicken. One. Don't look for a bunch. Don't get overstimulated. Just find one. Put garlic salt. That's what I started off with. Garlic salt. Here. It comes in a packet. Costco has this packet like this, garlic salt, right? Put some chicken on that, right? And put it on the chicken and let it marinate for a little bit. Cook it on the stove, right? Flip it back and forth. Make sure it's cooked, because chicken's not good if you're eating that raw. So make sure it's cooked, maybe a little golden brown, right? A little golden brown with a bit of rice, right? It's not that hard to cook rice, right? Cook some rice, and then go ahead from then on. But I want you to know that all these things that are going to help you in the future, cooking is one of the essential ingredients to life. Learn that, and everything else will be fine. Because you'll live longer to see your kids grow older. You'll live longer to see your parents go older. You'll live a healthier life. You can educate people alongside with it. And you can stop eating those donuts when you end up going to the office. You can start telling people, stop buying this stuff. This stuff is killing us, right? And you could educate them. Hey, here's what I did. Here's the recipes that I took. And that's what I did. It's like, here's what I eat. And sometimes people don't want to be helped. But the truth is, if you look around the world, most of us are really, really fat. And you know why? Because we've almost accepted mediocrity. We've accepted that being fat is okay. We've accepted that we don't have to change. People will love us the way we are. And that is the biggest baloney I've ever heard. Because though most people, when they get to that point, they're not even loving themselves, let alone the world. When you don't love yourself, no matter how many times someone tells you they love you, it's just not going to be believable because you know the truth. And the truth doesn't lie, right? So anyways, I'll leave this video off. I'll do a better job of implementing some information that I want you to learn. If you'd like to see how I cook things, or I'll try and make a video of it, but I want you guys to understand that you're not defined by these moments. You're not a fat person. You may be fat at that moment, right? Be honest, but that doesn't mean you're gonna stay like that forever. That doesn't mean you're a liar forever. You're a cheat forever. You're this forever. You can always make improvements to change. It's really, really hard. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's probably the hardest thing you're ever gonna do. But as soon as you put those 2 foot, one step at a time, 2 steps at a time to make that change, I promise you things will get better. I'll create more videos of this topics. I hope this can generate some kind of inspiration to one of you to make a change. I believe in you. I truly believe in you. I genuinely think you have it in you. I think you've been told a bunch of crock about yourself, and you've told yourself the most messed up things that aren't true, that sometimes you need to hear it from a real person that's been really hard on himself and has gone to the down grounds and beat himself up so many times that I realize that none of that is good. You have to pick yourself up, but the only way to do it is by making changes now and by taking action. Take the action necessary to become great, and I promise you'll live a better life. Anyways, I hope you guys have a good day. I don't even know if I don't know. Let me know what y'all think of this, and I'll continue on making videos like this. Thank you.